Rednote or Xiaohongshu just released an update in the Greater China region with the function to separate out foreign IPs.
Hey y'all, welcome to Sister Spills, and today we are spilling about the TikTok refugees. Yes, it is still ongoing. It's an ongoing conversation. So we already know that probably by Sunday, TikTok is not going to be in America anymore. And to make things worse, TikTok have taken it upon themselves. They are not waiting for the American government to give them the go ahead. They are already preparing to shut down everything TikTok in America. And people are already rushing to follow their faves, on other social media platforms, which take me to, the Rednote app that, lots of Americans, quickly rushed to that app and even trended that a guy who came to welcome the Americans was assumed to be the CEO of the app, even though he wasn't the CEO. Now, there's still an ongoing conversations about the TikTok refugees. If this Rednote app is going to, withstand the test of time, a lot of people feel like, the Rednote app is going to face a similar, issue with what is happening with TikTok. Other people, I saw a lady crying practically and saying that they're going to be separating the address, the IP address, and whatnot, and like she was just going into all this gibberish. I'm not a techie person, so I want to understand. I don't know tech so much, but she was just crying, breaking down, and saying so much. Anyway, guys, enough of me spilling. I have videos of people, talking about all of this. Let's go watch, and I'll be back.
Rednote or Xiaohongshu just released an update in the Greater China region with the function to separate out foreign IPs. And there are now talks of moving all foreign IPs to a separate server and having a different IP for those who are in the Greater China area. I know through VPNs and other ways people are still able to access the app, but essentially this is going to kill the app for Chinese Americans who actually uses the app to connect with the Chinese content, Chinese language, Chinese culture. Is a way for me to feel, I don't know, all of this just because we wanted to say fuck you to the US government. I get it, but I just wish it wasn't at the cost of others. That's all I have to say about that.
Did y'all hear the news that apparently China, the Chinese app owners of Xiaohongshu, are going to make it so that we can't play with our Chinese brothers and cousins and sisters no more? They are going to update Xiaohongshu to where if you have an international IP address, you will only be able to interact with other people who have international IP addresses. So if you have a Chinese IP address, like our new cousins, you're only going to be able to interact with other people who have a Chinese IP address. And I guess that makes sense given the culture. But like, all our cousins that are teaching us Mandarin and like taking up for us about the bullshit America be putting us through, we can't play no more. We're not gonna get to be friends no more. Like, I'm legit sad about that. Like, what the fuck? Now, does this mean we're gonna be leaving Rednote? Xiaohongshu? I don't think so. Cause I'm liking it over there. Like the editing tool, I'm liking it. And I want to be able to say I'm bilingual shit. But like I said, I'm gonna be posting on the tickety tock until they take this bitch down. Like the day of that it's supposed to be banned, baby, I'm gonna be opening up my app. I'm gonna be seeing if I can see my videos, and I'm gonna be following women and shamelessly flirting. Like, what do you mean? Y'all gonna have to pry this app out of my crusted thumb hands. Like, my hands gonna be solidified like this. Y'all gonna have to pry it loose from me. But just in case y'all want to find me somewhere else, I am everywhere else. I am on Blam Fam, I'm on Spill, Blue Sky, Vibesphere, Fanbase, Spill App, Frog, Own. I'm about to get on Flip because I heard you can make some coins on there. I'm waiting on the Neptune app to come out too, but y'all can find me anywhere and everywhere under the same name. And I'm gonna need each and every one of y'all to come and do so. I'm gonna need each and every one of y'all to come and link up with me, because I don't want to lose y'all. I don't want to lose a single one of y'all. Like, we family, we've been through a lot. We need to stay in contact. Like, they can try to separate us, but it ain't gonna happen. But China can definitely separate us from our Chinese cousins. They can do that because we are guests in their house. So I guess Xiaohongshu is going to be officially separated. We're going to have two different versions of the app, the Chinese version and then the us version, the US TikTok refugee version. It is what it is, y'all.
Okay, I need to know if any other Chinese people feel the same way as I do about how I'm finding it a bit weird with all the Americans flooding Xiaohongshu recently. Anyway, like, up until recently, our language was mocked, and our accents were mocked, and our music was turned into a meme, and now a Chinese app has been flooded by American TikTok users who are now acting buddy-buddy with everyone on there. I think it just weirds me out, because if it wasn't for the potential TikTok ban, so many of these people would not discover that China is just a normal country. I don't know why it's taken so long for people to realize that China is like every other country out there. Like, do you think we're swinging from trees? Wow, I didn't know China had such big cities. I didn't know China was so diverse. Have you seen how big China is? Do you know how many dialects we have? China is a massive country and incredibly diverse. It is beautiful. So the fact that it took something being taken away from you to educate yourself on that, like, that rubs me the wrong way. If TikTok wasn't going to be possibly banned, so many people wouldn't figure that out. Wow, Chinese people are actually nice. Wow, they're actually so sweet on this app. Because we have manners, unlike so many Americans, I think it just really rubs me the wrong way that after being mocked for so long on this app, now, because it benefits you, you're coming to the realization that Chinese people are humans. Xenophobia is extremely ingrained in American culture. I can't tell you the amount of times I was out with a person or went on a date with a person and they were like, okay, so what's your ethnicity? Are you Korean? Are you Japanese? And I say, no, I'm Chinese. And the reaction is almost always, oh. And one guy told me I'm pretty for a Chinese girl. You're kind of attractive for a Chinese person. Like, what? Like, my jaw dropped. And people love to see certain things, like certain nail styles and certain makeup styles, and call it Korean when it's Chinese, to see our culture displayed, and to call it Japanese. No, it's safe to say that America hates China. Oh yeah, China's terrible, so be scared of China, not your own country. Oh yeah, in China they could kill you. Well, at least in China, children don't have to wear bulletproof backpacks. Listen, I'm American too, but China is still my country as well. And those are my people, and I would hate for them to be taken advantage of. And they are so kind to let us into their safe space. And now I'm seeing posts that are like skibbity or like really stupid memes. I don't even want to talk about the comments I've seen on Chinese men's posts. Yeah, can we not comment "rail me daddy," please? And the sad part is, they don't know what that means. So it just feels like another way people are taking advantage of them. Stop infantilizing us too. Oh my god, your English is so cute. Oh my god, they're so cute on that app. What is with people loving to infantilize Asian people? I don't get it. Anyways, I will be taking down this video if it reaches the wrong audience. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
I'm actually terrified of this. I don't want everyone on TikTok to move onto this Xiaohongshu app, and this is why. Some people are calling it Rednote, and it actually translates to Little Red Book. I just feel the xenophobia coming, and I'm not trying to gatekeep this app, but it's not good that most of TikTokers, American TikTokers, are moving on to Xiaohongshu. I don't know if you heard about it, but Xiaohongshu is getting really popular.
And they're thinking about changing their IP, separating mainland China from the US, which means that Chinese Americans won't have access to Chinese content. This is sad and hurts me in a lot of ways because I've been using Xiaohongshu for 3 years now, and I use it a lot for inspiration and to share my culture in the brand. Like, that's my creative outlet. I'm on Xiaohongshu at least 2 hours a day almost. Use it to learn, to find cute makeup, to find cute outfits. There's so much inspiration on there. And I love sharing culture. That's what our brand is for. The hundreds of thousands of Americans that are going on there and changing the Chinese content into more Americanized content feels really wrong. It feels like it's trying to Americanize Xiaohongshu, which the point of Xiaohongshu was so that we can get more into Chinese culture. I don't know, it feels really sad. I just hope that the Xiaohongshu algorithm doesn't change. And if you're watching this video, you're most likely not the problem because you're my audience. But without Xiaohongshu, it will look a lot different for the Chinese American community. I want to be able to take the inspiration on there and share it with you guys, but I'm not for all Americans going on there and putting their Western views onto Xiaohongshu, if that makes sense. Anyways, that's my rant. I'm just a little sad over it because I just hope that Xiaohongshu is not the place where all Americans are going and changing it up.
Okay, the whole American migration to Xiaohongshu or Little Red Book, Rednote, whatever you want to call it, it was cute for like a day or two, but now as somebody who is Chinese and lives outside of China and uses Xiaohongshu as one of the only ways to stay in touch with my culture, they announced an update that is going to be separating foreign IPs. It is very funny, and I love that people are banding together to do like a big fuck you to the American government, but this is actually really, really devastating for diaspora Chinese people, for someone like myself who was born outside of China, but I still feel a lot of connection to my Chinese roots, my heritage, my culture. It's like the only way where I can feel in touch with that side of me, which is a huge part of my identity. But it's just kind of disturbing seeing Americans running towards a Chinese app calling themselves refugees. Like, it was cute for a minute, but now it's kind of freaking cringe. Y'all are not refugees, I'm sorry. I don't know, it just feels kind of shitty to be the butt of so many jokes as a Chinese person, like about COVID or eating dogs or eating bats like during COVID, all that shit, and now all of a sudden it's cool to want to learn Chinese. I want to use Xiaohongshu. I don't want to see Americans crying on this one safe space as a dual culture Western Chinese Canadian person. I don't know if the ban is actually going to go through. I've heard that Congress is potentially getting scared and backpedaling. I hope you guys get your TikTok back because I want my Xiaohongshu, not Rednote, Xiaohongshu.
Since everybody is downloading Xiaohongshu, aka the Little Red Book app, let me share with you my top 3 moments that made me go, holy crap, we are victims in America. Number 1, I saw somebody chopping up vegetables and I was like, wow, I can't believe he's chopping them so big. Like, if he's trying to feed school kids, it's a good quantity, but like these are really big chunks. I was like, what the heck was he doing? It was for the pigs. He was chopping up beets and carrots and pumpkin and cabbage for the pigs. And I thought that was school cafeteria food because that's how bad American lunch food is. I saw a post from a Chinese person asking about the LA fires and they were like, what's going on? We explained. Their follow-up question was, why do you build your houses from wood if that area always is on fire? Do you know how ridiculous it is for me to go to my translator and be like, we have to make houses that burn down so that the American companies can keep making money off of the working class? I don't even know if my translator was able to pick up on that. Somebody in China asked how our housing market is, and this American posted a graph showing how his loan interest is going to increase every year. And a Chinese person responded saying, but isn't it your house? Why are you being taxed on your house? Isn't that robbery? Question mark. I mean, I guess.
A lot of TikTok refugees are worrying about whether they're bothering us. No, quite the opposite. We're creating history together here, all right? we're doing something that's never happened before. We're talking about potentially billions of people blending together with totally different culture backgrounds and histories and everything. We're just sending memes and making bad jokes, trying to understand each other. Two massive groups of people are communicating directly without filters, curtains, modified tubes. I mean, nothing can stop us. Propaganda couldn't stop us. Lies couldn't stop us. And even language boundaries couldn't stop us. Oh my God, this is beautiful. This is something that will be written in the history book in the future. I enjoyed it so much. I could scroll 2 hours, 3 hours non-stop every day. I love it so much that I even have this bad feeling that this isn't gonna last long. Someone's gonna sabotage all of this, just like what they always do. You know, I hope I'm wrong. I hope this never happens. Anyways, let's just enjoy this moment. And whatever happens in the future, I will always remember this beautiful moment. 世界人民大团结万岁! Long live the unity of the people of the world.
On behalf of most Chinese people and the Xiaohongshu users, don't post on that app if you're not going to post in Chinese or respect the culture of it. Like, it's okay to use the app if you're American, and it's okay if you're not Chinese to use that app. But it's one thing to just consume the content, it's another thing to try and change it. There is no place for you to complain that you don't understand anything when clearly the design of the app was not made for Americans and was not designed to be in English. Like, there is no place for people to try and infiltrate that app that was already designed for a certain audience.
A couple hours ago, I received a message from journalists in China asking me why there are so many Americans flocking to Rednote. We have caused such a ruckus, made such a large impact not only on their social media, but their people and their society in general, that they're asking me, why are so many Americans coming to Rednote? And these are just one of the first of many messages, and they're giving me their address and emails and so on. And they're actually downright curious on why we are coming to Rednote. So to the journalists in China that is interested about this information, here you go. And the reason why is because our US government sucks. They are trying to fully take away our communication and our rights and our freedom of speech entirely. TikTok was the one app that they couldn't control through social media or anything else, so that way they could paint a narrative of how they see fit. The US government is trying to paint a picture that China is trying to steal our data, but we all knew that's not the case. In fact, we all know that is nothing but a complete lie. The only reason why they want to ban TikTok is because they want to silence our voices entirely. Our government does not care about us. In fact, they never did. All they care about is oppressing us. All they care about is making sure they win in the way that they see fit. All they care about is promoting the rich, filling their own pockets, and making sure they get even richer. Our government is completely anti-China, and they recently passed a bill for $1.6 billion to promote anti-China propaganda. We completely understand that the reason why they want to shut down TikTok is because we can see the world of how it truly is, that the world isn't as hateful or as regretful or as terrifying or evil as they try to make it seem. We also understand that China is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. They try to paint it as this downright evil and communistic country that is just breaking down and terrifying, and they oppress their own people. They are also trying to make it seem that China has no type of freedom whatsoever. We all understand that that's nothing but a lie. Our Supreme Court, our House, our governments, our leaders, they are nothing but cockroaches and leeches. They do not protect the people. They do not protect us. They do not help us. Our own US social medias like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, they all sell our data to other people, to the highest bidder, or to the US government without our permission. They have done this countless times, and our leaders do absolutely nothing about it. Our governments, our leaders, they are nothing but money-hungry, grubbing leeches who wants nothing but power, money, and control over us. There are states, cities, and people that are dying, that are sick, that are burning away, and they do nothing in return. Our insurance companies are rejecting our claims and canceling our insurance policies because they do not want to pay for us because it affects their profits, their stockholders, and their investors. They care about the rich more than they care about their own citizens. And the people of the United States are tired of it. We're done. We're so fucking fed up. We can't do anything physically because if we try to, they will undoubtedly use force. So now, since they want to be so anti-China and think that there's Chinese spies in TikTok, which there aren't, and they want to conjure up all these lies trying to make it seem like China are trying to brainwash American citizens into thinking that the government is bad, which they actually are. They want us censored. They are trying to take away our First Amendment right of freedom of speech. They do not want us to know the truth about who they actually are and what they're actually doing. This has gone on for long enough, and we're done. Hawaii has been burned to the ground. Los Angeles is being burned to the ground. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people homeless because their insurance companies has fucked them. They have abandoned the American people. New York City is being flooded. Florida is getting hit by multiple hurricanes. Texas is slowly being destroyed. Everything is too expensive and Americans cannot afford basic things to live. Our country refuses to give us universal health care even though they spent billions and trillions of dollars on military equipment. That and other things that we do not need, like anti-China propaganda. And they spend loads of money on themselves and not for the people. America is not the greatest country in the world. In fact, it's far from it. This country is corrupted to its core. Yeah, America may seem pretty from wherever you are, but the truth is, this country is slowly destroying itself from the inside because all our leaders care about is what they put in their pockets. They just want power and control. Our wildlife is dying and being burned to the ground, and thousands of people are dying. There are too much happening in the United States, and all they care about is banning TikTok. Are you kidding me? This is why so many American citizens are flooding to Rednote. It's because we cannot rely on our own government. So if they do ban TikTok, we will use Rednote as a means of fighting back. But you know what? This has worked out better than we could possibly imagine. Because now we are even closer with China because of this than we are with America. And this is something that they did not want to happen. And yet, it did anyway. The US government ended up creating a problem that they did not want to exist. Nor did it exist in the first place. But guess what? Now, that problem that they were so afraid of happening has actually happened. This is the American citizens' way of revolutioning. So they have one or two choices. One, they can ban TikTok and we'll just go to Rednote instead. Or two, they can stop trying to fucking silence us and let us keep TikTok. It's one or the other. Either way, they're not going to get what they want, and we're going to make damn sure of that. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. This is Onyx. You can find me on Rednote, and you can find me here. I am gone.
So guys, what are your thoughts? I actually like the name TikTok refugee and how the Americans have accepted that name. Anyway, what do you guys think about all of this? What do you think is going to be the future of creators who have earned from TikTok, who literally that is what they do, that is how they survive? Especially with the fact that a lot of people are not ready to deal with Meta, Instagram, and Facebook and the likes, and even though we heard that on X you can also earn, but I mean you can't compare it to the engagement and the algorithm of TikTok and whatnot. Anyway guys, please leave your thoughts in the comment section with me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and give this a big thumbs up because it sure helps the algorithm and it helps my channel. Anyway guys, bye for now.